Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Brian Shields. This right here, that could become Tropical Storm Arlene at any point today, or at least a tropical depression. But this may get the first name on the list on the first day of the hurricane season, which is today. That is kind of odd to happen, that we could have the first name on the first day. But you see this blob here off the coast of Florida. I want to show you how it's all tied in to some of the flooding as well across the Caribbean. Hurricane hunters, by the way, will get into this, and that will bring some heavier rain to parts of Cuba again. And I'll show you how it's going to enhance the rain across other parts of the Caribbean and again back into South Florida. What's going to happen here is, regardless of if it gets a name or not, it is going to kind of dive down to the south, very close to the Florida Keys, and then swing back toward the Bahamas. Conditions here, well, there's a lot more wind shear here. So even if it gets a name, it may actually fall apart as it swings back through Cuba, South Florida, and the Bahamas. So it could actually weaken once again, has a small window of opportunity really today to get that name, to get that classification, and then it kind of swings toward the Bahamas this weekend, and then it kicks out. But there is a lot going on, and the Hurricane Center did up their chance of development out of this to at least a 50% chance. So again, they're seeing that as well. They're going to be monitoring that, of course, sending in those hurricane hunters today to get that very latest information on what's going on there. So it's that blob right there, and this does enhance this giant stream of moisture we've been talking about, stretching from basically Nicaragua all the way back to Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Bahamas, parts of Florida, lifting up now into Bermuda. Again, everything tied together, and you can see some heavier rain as well, Panama. And then look at this flare up, another tropical wave, and that's going to head into the Caribbean, and we will see a bump up in the rain chance in parts of Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana. I'll get into all of that as we go ahead. I'll get into some of the forecasts as well over toward Grenada. We're going to keep an eye on that. ABC Islands, we've been in between. We need the rain. British and U.S. Virgin Islands over toward Antigua and Barbuda and Anguilla, we need the rain as well. Other spots getting dumped on. Again, it just really depends on where these bands set up. Some spots catching a break now while others are getting rain. Jamaica watching us closely as we go throughout the day. And then eventually this moisture is going to swing more back toward Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Scattered showers possible for Puerto Rico. Not a lot today. I'll dive into the forecast ahead and get a look at that tropical computer model for you. Now, you see the blobs out here. Several tropical waves that I've been tracking. We've got a new one that is about to slide into the Caribbean once again. Another one in the Central Atlantic, another one coming off the coast of Africa. These, I do not see any signs of development. But as we know, like we're dealing with right now, we don't need a name system to cause significant flooding. We're going to see some significant flooding in spots through the upcoming weekend. Days and days of rain for some of us. Now on the eastern Pacific side, and again, this is still tied into what's going on across the Caribbean. You see that surge of moisture here, some blobs of rain over in the eastern Pacific, but not seeing any signs of development there. Just watching areas of heavier rain like we're watching over in Panama. So here's the big picture. And again, this little spin here may actually become Arlene today, but this is that big surge of moisture near Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, surging up again to Jamaica. So Jamaica, as the day goes on, the rain chance is going to be picking up. Watching for areas of flooding, favoring eastern sections of Cuba. And then Haiti and the Dominican Republic will be getting more rain. Panama, it's going to be heavy where you see the brighter colors, heavier rain. Southern and central Bahamas today getting that heavy rain streaming all the way up toward Bermuda. So again, this is a really kind of big event as far as rain is concerned. And then watching here, new tropical waves moving in. Martinique, Guadeloupe, we need some rain. St. Lucia, Barbados. We've already had rain in spots this morning. We had some rain last night. My friends in Belize, we had some rain in some new spots last night. While we're not going to have a huge batch of rain, this rain did feed into some of us last night and very early this morning. So keeping an eye on us in Belize as well, and over toward the Yucatan and Mexico. Spotty showers elsewhere in Mexico. But this is tomorrow. So there's your time frame. Tomorrow afternoon. This is the issue, and we talked about this yesterday. Jamaica through Cuba, the Bahamas, and Haiti. Again, the same spots could get stuck in this rain, and this is not your just kind of ordinary rain. These are those really good tropical downpours, good in kind of a relative sense of the term. just very strong tropical downpours. A lot of moisture with them in just days and days of that. It's not all day, but then you see even as we get into Saturday, this again the issue, Turks and Caicos, southern Bahamas, very eastern parts of Cuba, Jamaica again, Haiti and the DR. And I see a lot of folks sharing this channel in Haiti. I do appreciate that. I've spent a lot of time in Haiti. So again, thank you for sharing that channel, getting the word out. Been seeing that as well in the Dominican Republic. And again, there's going to be flooding at the river crossings, some of them as we go over the next couple days, Friday into Saturday in Haiti, Dominican Republic. We've already seen the flooding, Cayman Islands. We were talking about that yesterday. Now going forward, as we work our way into Sunday, still that chance of rain, Turks and Caicos, southern Bahamas, Haiti, Dominican Republic. And again, watching out for spotty showers elsewhere. And it does look, I was looking ahead at kind of the long-term computer models, steering currents. As we get into later next week, we could see a repeat of this with another surge of moisture somewhere in the Western Caribbean and watching more of those tropical waves. So we may be doing this again as we get deeper into next week. We'll get into that one thing at a time here. All right, let's get to some of the rain totals. I'll zoom down to some different spots as well. Passing shower, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique. But the rain chance is bumping up a little bit. Barbados, we could see 25 millimeters of rain if you get some of the showers. And again, Guyana, Suriname, scattered showers. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, not a whole lot. Watching northern Venezuela, more inland, better chance of that rain. Puerto Rico, just some passing showers. But these are those higher totals where you're seeing these whites popping up through tomorrow night. We could again get some isolated spots of 100 millimeters of rain, or 4 inches of rain. That's on top of the rain we already had. And that's why we're going to see more flooding. It's life-threatening flooding at those river crossings. And then eventually, if we were to go out in time further, we're going to see some higher totals, Haiti and the DR. We swing back toward Honduras. I've been watching us. We've been too dry in spots in Honduras. We'll see some chances of some storms around, but again, not super widespread. Same thing, Guatemala and El Salvador. Now, this is where the bulk of the action has been. Turks and Caicos again, parts of the Bahamas. I mean, we're dealing with 700 islands here. Parts of the Bahamas, over 100 millimeters of rain. And again, as this system here, which could become Arlene, that'll enhance that chance of rain eventually back through South Florida and again over toward the northern Bahamas by the time we get into the weekend. Jamaica today, lots of purple. So a lot of us are going to see over 50 millimeters of rain, adding on to some of the rain we've had over the last 2 to 3 days. We get back here, my friends in St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, over toward Grenada. Yes, a lot of blue. We need more rain, but at least a slightly better chance today. We're going to get some spots getting 25 millimeters of rain, and we've already had some rain in some locations this morning and again last night. We swing back here, Trinidad and Tobago, 25 millimeters of rain. Could get a few spots upwards of 50 millimeters or a couple inches of rain, just kind of seeing how it goes overall throughout the day. Northern Venezuela, back toward Guyana, Suriname, the same thing today into tomorrow. Now, let me talk about the hurricane season. Today, the first day of the hurricane season. This time of year, we actually look closer to home for development, just like what we're dealing with in the Gulf of Mexico now. With that said, you watch these old fronts pull through Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and they can leave some leftover moisture around. That's where we look for a spin up this time of year. Not so much off the coast of Africa. We see the tropical waves coming off, but there's a lot of wind shear out here. Point being, conditions aren't conducive for development out in the open waters of the Atlantic. So in the month of June, usually we get a storm or two popping up, a named storm or two. And again, we could have one today. We'll monitor that. But as we go through June, July, could see a couple named systems. Where they go, I don't know, and frankly, nobody does, regardless of what they may be saying. We don't know where a storm's going to go until it develops. We see the steering conditions, and I could get a good handle on where things may take these things. And my promise to you is I'll stay on top of it for you throughout the season. August, September, and October, that's when there's a lot more in the way of activity. 85% of named systems happen in August, September, and October, just those 3 months. So first name on the list this season is Arlene. That may get taken very, very shortly. If not, again, at some point it will. Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, and Gert after that. Now, If we get Arlene today, it's actually going to be the second storm of the season. There was a subtropical storm that developed in January back in the northern Atlantic over toward Canada. It was not a named system, though. All right, Belize today, rain chance 30%, but that already really happened because we had some of the rain earlier this morning, but still a chance of some spotty showers and storms tomorrow and again on Saturday. Now, as we work our way into the Cayman Islands, rain chance kind of bounces around. It really depends on those bands of rain. Some spots may be stuck in it for hours and then not too far away. Other spots just dry. That's a very tropical environment. Rain chance goes down on Saturday. Jamaica, rain chance holding at a solid at least 70% chance today, tomorrow, and Saturday. I showed you that with that tropical model. I was showing you that rain, how those bands of rain would just kind of repeat day after day. That's why there is that flooding concern, and we've already seen it, and you've been seeing it, what I've been showing you the last several days. The Bahamas, now again, depends on exact location, but a very high chance of rain, relatively speaking, the next couple days. This here, though, Friday and Saturday will favor the southern Bahamas for that highest chance of rain. Haiti, that chance of rain is going to be picking up, and again, watching the tropical downpours. We talked about that flood potential across parts of Haiti and again into the Dominican Republic. Not as much as we work our way into Puerto Rico, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis. The rain chance is going to be about 30%. That's passing shower kind of activity. But as we go over the next few weeks, we'll see a better chance of rain as more of those tropical waves lift to the north. Barbados, though, that chance of rain increasing. We've got that new tropical wave moving in. This is not all day, but again, we'll get those passing showers. Leave in the comments section if you get rain or don't get rain. Super helpful for everyone. It's always good to know what you have going on. So I appreciate you taking the time to leave those comments. As we get toward Grenada, rain chance bumps up a little bit because we have that new tropical wave that is going to be sliding in. So same thing, Trinidad and Tobago. Rain chance is going to stay around. A more active period, Trinidad and Tobago. We are in the wet season, but again, we get those variations depending on how these tropical waves shake out. Guyana and Suriname, rain chance holding at 60% today through that upcoming weekend. So a very, very active pattern overall. Tracking those areas of flooding, that is my biggest and most immediate concern. And we're going to have wave after wave moving in. Monitoring, as I mentioned, throughout the month, the activity that is closer to home. I'll keep an eye on what's developing in the Gulf of Mexico now. It doesn't really change the forecast if it gets a name or not, but it could be Arlene in the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane season, yes, it starts today. It's already started. Again, today is the first day of that, and it goes on for 6 months. It goes through the end of November. As we go through the year, it kind of favors different locations, so I'll be taking you through that as well. But wherever a storm goes, everyone matters. Big island, small island, we all matter, so I'm going to be tracking that as far as where the storms go. I'll do my best to keep you covered on that. Thank you for being part of this channel, taking the time to share it with your friends and family. Stay safe if you're dealing with the flooding. Have a good rest of your day.